Ready? Okay. Good afternoon. First of all, let me say I'm going to try to answer some questions. Might be a few. Depends on the questions. Might be none. So I just want to go ahead and get that out of the way because this is what we are talking about is two ongoing investigations. But what I'll say today is that we have two grieving families here in Orangeburg County. And we have a family, which is Orangeburg County, that's tired of the senseless gun violence that we are enduring here in this county. And if I had an answer for the gun violence, I would not only be answering for Orangeburg County, but I'll be answering for the United States because it's all over. These two incidents occurred within 15 hours of each other. The first incident occurred on Friday night at the Crown Inn Motel off of Edisto Drive, with the victim being Mr. Sansom Green. What I can tell you at this point is that there were some individuals that were hanging around the hotel. At some point, for some reason, there were an altercation and shots rung out. Mr. Green was, when we arrived, we found Mr. Green on the scene, and he had died from his injuries. That investigation is ongoing. Saturday morning, we were dispatched here in Orangeburg County off of Highway 33. I think what got attention over there was a vehicle that left the area suddenly, and it got the attention of someone in that area that called the sheriff's office. And when we arrived, we found Mr. O'Brien Gant with injuries, and he had also been expired. At this point, we are looking for Mr. Gant's vehicle, which is a black 2015 Honda Accord, and we'll give you that information, but it has South Carolina tags 394BHV. What I want to say by this, because I know that today, like any other time, the suspects in these crimes, just like everybody else, they're sitting by the TV watching press conference. So what I want to say to them today is simply this. Our investigators, myself, the command staff, ever since Friday night, we have not rested, very little sleep. So I want them to know, what they know, but I want Orangeburg County community to know that until these individuals are brought to justice, they are going to be uncomfortable as hell, just like we are. I also want them to know that the next time that they see me on TV, they'll be standing, or a picture will be behind me of them. And I would promise the community that won't be long. Again, I ask for prayer for the families, for the two families that are mourning the loss. I had an opportunity this morning to speak with Mr. Green's father, and told him that we would keep him in prayer. And also, we wanted to keep the community in prayer for Mr. O'Brien. For what I know, was a young man, a smart young man that had a bright life ahead. Again, there will be justice. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Sheriff Ravenel, I noticed that Mr. Grant has a connection to Resort Street just outside of Santee, and so did Jay Lawson, the individual who was missing out of Somerton, and thought that he went missing actually in Santee. Do you think those two cases are at all related?
I don't have any reason to believe that they are related. We know at this point now that we believe, myself and Clarendon County Sheriff has been in contact every day. That case has been turned over to Clarendon County and SLED because we believe that everything that happened, he was last seen actually in Clarendon County. But at this point, we don't have any reason to believe that that's related. Yes, sir.
Sheriff, one question as it pertains to O'Brien Grant, where he was found. That scene is relatively close to some homes.
Right.
Is there any reason to believe that he was shot where his body was found, or was there reason to believe that he was dumped?
Well, that's still under investigation, to be honest with you. We're still trying to put all those pieces together. So at this time, we do have our investigators are, like I said, working real hard. But even though it's been a day or two since then, the crime scene is still being worked in the office. So we're still trying to put these puzzles together.
And when we talk about O'Brien Grant, we visited Claflin today. The students were just talking about the kind of person he was, the impact he made. Is there any reason to believe that he knew the person who killed him?
Well, at this point, we're not ruling anything out. We have no. I can't answer that. I have no idea at this point. But hopefully, and very soon, we'll be able to answer all those questions.
And you described it as a heinous killing. Can you go into any kind of details so we can understand?
Well, just to leave someone that like we found lifeless on the side of a highway, a roadway. That's just heinous within itself.
Is there anything you want the public to know? Any parents who have kids at Claflin, just to know, or any advice you want to share to these college students in this community?
Well, not only Claflin, we have South Carolina State University, we have Orangeburg Tech, and we have other colleges in this area. A lot of young people in this area, not only college students but high school students. We would ask them to always, watch your surroundings. Whenever you leave campus or home or wherever you might be, just let somebody know where you are. As this investigation get closer to a close, we would have more answers and we have more answers for the community. And so at this point, I just want everybody in Orangeburg to know that these incidents are just isolated incidents that's senseless. And we're going to, again, work around the clock to solve them.
And I know it's an active investigation, but is there any motive that you know of for Grant's death? You said someone took his car, so was that a part of it?
Well, that's something that we're still checking into. Right.
Do you believe anyone's hiding these two suspects or anybody involved?
Well, I can tell you this. Good question. I can tell you this. On Grant's case right now, like I said, that's both of these cases are different. I can tell you that in Mr. Green's case, when the shooters go to jail, there's going to probably be 4 or 5 other people or more going to jail with them. I can almost promise you that. So, for those that are hiring these people or have any idea, you heard anything, you saw anything, just come looking for us because we're looking for you.
So one point of clarity there, Sheriff, on the vehicle that's missing, the Honda.
Mm-hmm.
Is there reason to believe that it's stolen, or is it just not located so far?
Well, at this point, I think from investigations, we are looking that Mr. Grant was in possession of his vehicle. Mr. Grant was in possession of his vehicle. Now we can't find it, so right now we're just treating it as a part of this investigation and a big part of this investigation.
Should students be on high alert or concerned?
No more than that than any other time. Mr. Gant, unfortunately, these are things that happen in this community and in other communities also. So, what I would tell the students is that, to keep going to class and getting good grades and keep your head up. And at this point, you have an extra duty to kind of live for Mr. Gant also.
Do you have time for a quick off-topic question?
Yes, ma'am.
We were just wondering for an update on the search for Sincere Gibbs.
Okay, well, that's a good question also. I'll tell you this, that I know for a fact. He's running faster, and we're right behind him. And there's also probably going to be some other people that go to jail with him also. So And I would just thank you for the question. I ask people to keep an eye out for him because he's definitely not comfortable.
Sheriff, back to the other two cases that you were talking about. You described these as isolated incidents.
Yes, sir.
But without any suspects in custody, do you have any concern there's still a larger public threat out there?
No, sir. No, sir, I don't. Especially in the first case. In this case, I think was, like I said, an isolated incident. I don't have any reason to believe that there's a threat to the community, otherwise. No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.